Kako dobre so Trumpove teorije zarote, z mano je David Icke, britanski konspirolog, ki je nekoč napovedal, da bo konec sveta leta 1997. So, you're still alive.
I'm still alive.
We're all still alive.
Yeah.
But how do we stand?
So again?
How do we stand? Where are we?
Well, as I've been writing in my books for nearly 30 years now, we're heading into a global state that more and more mirrors what George Orwell was writing about in 1984, and what Aldous Huxley was writing about in Brave New World. And it's becoming more and more obvious as our freedoms are taken away, as our ability to have freedom of expression is taken away, as we've seen with this latest WikiLeaks batch of leaked files. People are being watched through their televisions, through their smart TVs, and recorded through their smart TVs in their own living rooms. We're having knowledge now that the CIA has been working to hack into car computer systems to create what they call almost indetectable assassinations. And what's starting to happen is the veil is lifting on the scale of control, gathering control, that we're being subjected to. And here's a question about the smart TVs. Why on earth are Samsung, for instance, putting microphones and cameras into televisions? Why are we moving now into a direction of driverless cars, which have make no mistake, will be compulsory eventually, that's the idea, which can be controlled through their computer system even more effectively than the computer systems in cars now? Why do we need driverless cars? Why do we have cameras and microphones in televisions? The answer is they're there, and there's back doors into smartphones and back doors into this other smart technology, which again has come to light, which are left there so that this surveillance can take place. And what I've found on this World Speaking Tour since last summer, 2016, going to Australia and America and all around Europe, is more and more people, more than I've ever seen before, are starting to lift their eyes up from the game show and the sport and say, hold on a minute, what's going on? And it's about time we did, because it's been going on in the background for so long, getting more and more extreme, and at last people are beginning to see it.
Some people now, at least in America, but all over the world, think that Donald Trump is alternative. That he's alternative to that.
An alternative?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure that an alternative to the establishment gets to office and then hands the American economy to Goldman Sachs. Donald Trump has spent his life in the swamp, in business. Now he's claiming to be draining it. And he's handed over Homeland Security, a domestic law enforcement operation, to a military man. He's handed the Pentagon to a military man. His national security advisor is a military man. I don't see the evidence, shall we say, so far, that he is changing direction in any way, shape or form, except in language and in rhetoric. In reality, it's continuing on as before.
But can you imagine? There's deep state, as we call it.
Right.
That he gets this deep state in his hands, under his control.
He's a pawn of the deep state. You see, this is the thing that I would say to people about politics and political leaders. Don't get caught in focusing on here today, gone tomorrow political leaders. Because Bush came and went. Obama came and went. Trump has come and he'll go. Look at what's always there. For instance, the intelligence network is always there. The military is always there.
Can you imagine that intelligence in the hands of Trump.
It won't be allowed. It won't be allowed. You see, this is the point. It's interesting to me that after I've been talking about these networks for 30 years that are actually always there and actually pushing society in a certain direction, while the politicians come and go and people get mesmerized by them. But we're now having, even in the mainstream media, you've just used the phrase, deep state. So what is this deep state? What controls this deep state? What creates a situation that no matter who is in power, whether it's this party or that party, this leader or that leader, the same agenda keeps unfolding. There's obviously a force of control and manipulation that is the constant. And I'll give you an example of what I mean. In the year 2000, an organization in America called the Project for the New American Century, made up of people like Dick Cheney, Donald Rumsfeld, Dov Zakheim, who became the comptroller of the Pentagon, Paul Wolfowitz and others, called Neocons. They produced a document in September 2000 calling for the next American administration to embark on multiple theater wars to regime change in a list of countries. Those countries included Iraq, Iran, Libya, Syria, and others. This group of people that produced that document then came to power with Bush in January 2001. And one of the things they said in this document is that to justify these multiple theater wars and these regime changes, they needed what they called a catastrophic and catalyzing event like a new Pearl Harbor, right? 9 months after they come to power with Bush, America had what Bush called at the time the Pearl Harbor of the 21st century. As a result of that, they started picking off these countries on the list. Now, here's the point. They went into Iraq on a lie under Bush and under Blair. Then Obama came in and the British Prime Minister David Cameron. But instead of changing direction, they continued to pick off the list. So Obama and NATO and Cameron went for Libya. Then they moved on this proxy war to Syria to try to get rid of Assad. These are all the countries on that original list. So what I'm saying is, no matter what politicians come to power, whoever it is, Trump, Republican, Democrat, this same agenda goes on unfolding. And my question has been all these 30 years, who is controlling that? And that's the question we need to answer.
How come conspiracy theorists and conspiracy sites honor and cheer Trump? Isn't he exactly the kind of guy they were constantly warning us against?
Well, I completely agree with you. I mean, I've been in this alternative media before there was an alternative media. And I've seen people come along and start to investigate how this hidden state works. And they're pointing out, quite rightly, through the years, that it doesn't matter who you vote for, the same force is in power. And then Trump comes along, and suddenly these American, particularly, but not only American, alternative sites jump on Trump as like a messiah, like some kind of deity.
They're Pope.
It's crazy.
Conspiracy theories in chief.
But it's crazy because Trump is just another polarity in this illusory game that keeps our attention from seeing the constant force that's going through the presidencies and through the parties. So I've been very disappointed, I have to say, with many major like called conspiracy websites, alternative websites in America that have dropped their principles and gone for Trump. I think it's crazy, and that they'll eventually have to see the error of their ways.
Well, thank you very much. Tako, zdaj veste, vi boste podarili, ki ste ure iz te kanale v živo, zadnjo besedo pa ima recepcija.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. That was good.
Thanks.
Thanks.